Yeah, well, Mark, Mark had the script. It was written by a very talented Canadian writer named Jesse Gabe, and he was looking for a director. He found his way to me. I read the script, and I responded to the script. I thought it was a wonderful story and a great, a great first film as a first-time feature film director. Not too big, not too ambitious. Although being a road movies do have a lot of challenges in them. But I overlooked those challenges and decided to take it on anyway. But the film essentially is a two-hander, and I knew the film was gonna live or die, based on the relationship between Cas and Dylan. We were able to find Tatiana Maslany. We found her first, and we found her early on in the process, and we were able to secure her services for the film. And then we had to find our cast, and luckily for us, through my agents in Los Angeles, I was able to get a hold of Mr. Dreyfuss here, and luckily for me, he responded to the script. After a lot of coercing and cajoling, and I offered him a lot of stuff that I never came through with, and a big salary, he decided to come and join us on this wonderful adventure that you guys saw tonight.
And, it fit my profile exactly. It was sweet and gentle and surprising, and it was a friendship movie, and I loved it. So that's it.
Liam, I'm going to shout. Have you got a mic there?
You're up.
Okay, thank you. I'm just conscious about the idea of two characters. You spoke a tiny bit about it, about the pressure on the two leads and the long hours of being in a car together. And I wondered about the amount of preparation and the chemistry between you is so wonderful. Did you do a lot of rehearsals? Maybe talk about that process.
Well, we did. A lot of times on movies of this size and at this budget level, the rehearsal process seems to be getting stripped away from movies a lot these days. And I knew that this movie was going to live and die on the chemistry between the two lead actors. So I made sure that I had a week with Richard and Tatiana, just the three of us, locked in a hotel room. To really work on the scenes and get the scenes up on their feet, and we had a lot of time to just work, the three of us, and make sure that the scenes were working. And scenes that weren't working that well, we rewrote, and Richard and Tatiana were very instrumental in rewriting a lot of those scenes that maybe weren't working so well, and they improvised a lot of stuff, and I took a lot of those improvisations and incorporated them into the script. So these guys, Richard and Tatiana, had a lot of input into the script, and the script was actually changing, and we were working on the script all the way through the shooting process. And Richard's influence on the script was tangible all the way through the process.
So you changed the script around a bit.
We just clarified things and made...
Clarified, for screenwriters in the audience, what's clarifying a script?
It means stripping away the bullshit. And once we got into the car, we just had a lot of sex. And that really bonded us. Actually, she is so incredibly talented that there was no way for me to describe her. She was just perfect, and perfect to bounce off of.
Talk to me a bit about the subject, the idea that you have this sort of last journey, this final journey. Were there any pressures from a point of view of delivery and how you would actually keep the end? And I know that Tatiana has actually talked about the fact that was one of the things that she felt really attracted to, that it carried through to the very end. It didn't actually waver or go for a safer, happier conclusion.
Well, that was one of the things that I really responded to in the script initially, was the fact that it didn't shy away from the ending that it needed to to have. You know, not unlike films like Midnight Cowboy and films like that. You know, another road movie that ends the way that it should. You know, and I think that this movie, like that movie, goes to the place that it should. And if it doesn't go to that place, I think the audience is going to feel ripped off at the end. So I think that this movie goes where it should. And that's one of the things that attracted me to the script initially as well.
I think also that anyone who interferes with someone's decision to exit in his own or her way is a disgrace. And if there's one thing that you should have control over, it's how you leave life. And so to me, I'd already done a film about that, so it was easy for me to decide, and quite beautiful. And I know people who act quite bizarrely. When my mom was dying, her doctor for 30 years said, we don't want to give her any morphine because she might turn into an addict. She was 85. And I said, are you out of your mind? And let's make this gentle and easy. And that's what I believe.
We've got an audience here. Yes, question here.
I thought it was a fantastic film, and Richard, a big fan. I just want to ask you a quick question. What's the most important thing for you when developing a character? Like, would it be the voice of the character, or habits, or the physical side kind of thing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty articulate about most things except my own process. I don't have a clue how I do it, and I just end up with a character, and I don't know. I always think of it as there's a suit of clothes across the room, and I have to walk across the room and put the clothes on. That's the only way I can describe it.
So you kind of do that as it goes along?
No, beforehand. I mean, I take a look at the script, and I know at the end of the first reading what I'm going to do. And I don't change it. I change a lot of words, I change a lot of stuff within the structure of things, or the words, but not the performance.
Another question? Question here?
Hi, Mr. Dreyfuss. One of your films
The
that
microphone here, sorry.
Thank you. Mr. Dreyfuss, one of your films which has been a little unfairly overlooked over the years is The Goodbye Girl. And I was wondering, was Neil Simon involved on the set? Was he there to polish scenes that needed polishing? And how do you feel? Do you ever feel a conflict of interest between a writer and a director?
No, usually they're one and the same, or they're working together very well. And Neil, actually they were doing another film called Bogart Slept Here, which was the story, in fact, of what happened to Dustin Hoffman when he became a star, and what happened to his family. And Robert De Niro was playing that role, and then they fired Robert De Niro, which I thought could not be. That could be impossible. And then I was offered that role in that film, and we had a reading of it, and it quickly became apparent that you could not empathize in any way with a movie star. He could be down and out and broke and alcoholic, and you say, he's having a great time. And so Neil at that point said, I don't want to do this movie, but I have an idea. And then he delivered The Goodbye Girl, which was a prequel in a sense, and he didn't change a line after that. And I think I added one thing, which was a buffo. That was the only thing I ever added, because it was a perfect script.
Thank you very much.
Question just in